From the White House to the bank, how do world leaders get so loaded? Welcome back to the show. We all know that being a world leader is a tough gig. The constant scrutiny, endless meetings, and the weight of millions' fate can be overwhelming. But while most of us struggle financially, many world leaders seem to be doing just fine. This week, we're diving into the finances of notable world leaders' post office. Buckle up, kids, because this is going to be a bumpy ride. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification bell for updates. Donald Trump, from real estate tycoon to less rich real estate tycoon. Let's start with Donald J. Trump, a name synonymous with wealth, power, and controversy. Before taking office, Trump claimed to be worth a staggering $4.5 billion, a figure that was often debated but undeniably impressive. He built his empire on a foundation of luxurious hotels, bustling casinos, sprawling golf courses, and relentless self-promotion, making his name a brand in itself. But despite his claims of business genius, Trump's presidency didn't make him richer. In fact, it had quite the opposite effect. According to Forbes, his net worth dropped to $2.6 billion while he was in office, a significant decline by any measure. Now I know what you're thinking, that's still an obscene amount of money. And you're right. For most people, it's an unimaginable fortune. But for someone who measures success in gold-plated everything, a billion-dollar dip must feel like a serious kick in the ego, a blow to his larger-than-life persona. So, what happened? It's a mix of factors, each contributing to the financial hit he took during his time in the White House. Being president is a full-time job, meaning Trump couldn't oversee his business empire as before. His attention was divided, and his businesses suffered as a result. Then there were the numerous controversies and scandals that plagued his presidency, each one chipping away at his financial standing. Remember that whole impeachment thing? It wasn't just a political crisis, it was a financial one too. Those kinds of headlines don't inspire confidence in investors or consumers. Bad press can be a business killer, and Trump had more than his fair share. And let's not forget about the pandemic, which hit the hospitality and tourism industries particularly hard. Trump had a lot of money invested in. Empty hotels and closed casinos meant significant losses. So while Trump might still be incredibly wealthy, his presidency didn't turn him into the financial titan he always claimed to be. In fact, it revealed vulnerabilities in his empire. In fact, it might have even cost him a bit of cash, a reality that must sting for someone who prides himself on his financial acumen. Irony. Thy name is Trump. The man who once seemed untouchable in the world of business found himself humbled by the very office he sought. Robert Mugabe, from freedom fighter to, well, let's just say things got complicated. Mugabe was a complex and controversial figure. He was a hero of Zimbabwe's liberation struggle, leading the country to independence from British rule in 1980. But he also ruled with an iron fist for nearly 4 decades, becoming synonymous with corruption, human rights abuses, and economic mismanagement. When Mugabe came to power, he wasn't exactly rolling in dough, but as president, his tune seemed to change. Mugabe and his cronies were accused of looting Zimbabwe's coffers, siphoning off state funds and seizing control of lucrative industries. Estimates of Mugabe's personal wealth vary wildly, from hundreds of millions to billions of dollars. After his death in 2019, his family was tight-lipped about his wealth. Mugabe went from being a revolutionary leader to someone more interested in clinging to power and enriching himself and his inner circle. Barack Obama, from the Oval Office to the bestseller list. Now let's talk about someone who took a more conventional route to post-presidential wealth, Barack Obama. After serving 2 terms as the 44th President of the United States, Obama transitioned into a new phase of his life, one that many former presidents have navigated before him. Before becoming president, Obama was a humble senator from Illinois with a relatively modest net worth. His early career was marked by dedication to public service and a commitment to his constituents. He and Michelle had a mortgage, student loan debt, and all the joys of middle-class life. They were just like many American families, juggling responsibilities and striving for a better future. But then came the presidency, 2 terms of it, and with it, a whole lot of opportunities to cash in. The exposure and influence gained from being the leader of the free world opened numerous doors. Obama wrote several bestsellers that sold millions of copies worldwide. His memoirs in particular provided an intimate look into his life and presidency, captivating readers globally. Those book deals alone, netted the Obamas tens of millions of dollars. The success of these books not only brought financial gain but also solidified his legacy in the literary world. And then, there were the speaking engagements, with corporations and organizations lining up to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars per speech. These events allowed Obama to share his insights and experiences with a wide audience. Add to that Netflix production deals, investments, and Michelle Obama's own successful book tour and projects, and you've got a very comfortable post-presidency lifestyle. The Obamas have truly capitalized on their post-White House years. Now, I know what you're thinking. There's nothing wrong with a former president making a living. After all, they've earned it through years of hard work and dedication. They've dedicated their lives to public service. They deserve to be compensated. And you're right, their contributions to society are invaluable. And their post-presidential endeavors reflect their ongoing commitment to making a difference. But it does make you wonder about the system we've created, where the line between public service and private profit can become so blurry. This intersection of politics and profit raises important questions about the nature of public service in our society. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue to bring you insightful content. Chapter 4. Boris Johnson, From Brexit to Book Deals and Back. Across the pond, our old friend Boris Johnson, the former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, has had an interesting relationship with wealth. Born into a privileged family, Johnson wasn't exactly scraping pennies together before entering politics. He worked as a journalist, even serving as the editor of The Spectator. But it was his foray into politics, first as the mayor of London and then as Prime Minister, that really thrust him into the limelight. Known for his blustering style and eccentric persona, Johnson was a controversial figure throughout his time in office. Despite a net worth estimated to be around a relatively modest $2 million, Johnson's time as Prime Minister wasn't marked by financial prudence. Since resigning as Prime Minister in 2022, Johnson has returned to writing, securing a lucrative book deal for his memoirs. Whether this will be a tell-all expose or just another chapter in the Boris Johnson circus remains to be seen. Chapter 5. George W. Bush, From Oil Heir to Presidential Painter and Back to Oil. Now let's head back to the United States and talk about another president who came from a family with a complicated relationship with money, George W. Bush. Born into a family with a legacy of political and economic influence, Bush's journey is a fascinating one. As the son of former President George H.W. Bush, Dubia didn't exactly grow up wanting for much. His childhood was filled with privileges and opportunities that most could only dream of. The Bush family had deep roots in the oil industry, and young George W. benefited from that family fortune. The oil business was more than just a source of wealth, it was a significant part of the Bush family identity. Before entering politics, he dabbled in the oil business himself, with mixed success. His ventures in the oil industry were a mix of highs and lows, reflecting the volatile nature of the business. He later became part owner of the Texas Rangers baseball team, a venture that proved to be quite profitable. This move not only boosted his financial standing but also his public profile. However, it was his presidency, bookended by the 9/11 terrorist attacks and the 2008 financial crisis, that truly defined his legacy. These events tested his leadership and left an indelible mark on his time in office. While his presidency wasn't known for its focus on economic equality, remember those tax cuts for the wealthy? Bush himself didn't walk away from office significantly richer. His policies often favored the affluent, yet his personal wealth didn't skyrocket as one might expect. His net worth upon leaving the White House was estimated to be between $20 million and $40 million. This range, while substantial, was modest compared to some of his contemporaries. Since then, Bush has focused on his presidential library, his newfound passion for painting, and the occasional speaking engagement. His paintings, often of world leaders and veterans, have garnered both praise and curiosity. While he hasn't been shy about using his presidential platform for personal gain, Bush's post-presidency life has been relatively low-key. He has engaged in various charitable activities and maintained a presence in public life, albeit more subdued. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring more insightful content about the lives and legacies of influential figures. Chapter 6. Bill Clinton, From Comeback Kid to Speaking Circuit Superstar. And finally, let's talk about the man who proved that even impeachment can't keep a good politician down, Bill Clinton. Before becoming the 42nd President of the United States, Clinton was the governor of Arkansas, a state not known for its lavish gubernatorial salaries. He and Hillary, a successful lawyer, were by no means poor, but they weren't swimming in money either. After surviving scandals and impeachment, Bill Clinton emerged with a knack for turning his experiences into cash. The Clintons embarked on a whirlwind tour of speaking engagements, book deals, and appearances. Bill became a highly sought-after speaker, commanding hundreds of thousands of dollars per speech, while Hillary followed suit with her own successful books and speaking engagements. Their combined wealth is estimated to be north of $100 million. Outro: from public service to private jets, the moral of the story. So, there you have it. A glimpse into the world of post-presidential wealth. As we've seen, there are many ways for former world leaders to cash in on their time in office, from book deals and speaking engagements to more creative ventures. Some might argue that it's only fair for these individuals to leverage their experience and connections for personal gain, but it does make you wonder about the system we've created where the line between public service and private profit can become so blurred, and it raises some uncomfortable questions about the influence of wealth and power in our society. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Turn on the bell for new updates.